Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Blitz5 and today's video is going to be about pubg-replay.com. So I just figured out about this website today. Well, I just found out about the website today and I wanted to make a video about this because I just played around with this website for the past hour or so, and I've been watching some of my gameplays, fast forwarding through them to get some information about what happened, some strategy, and this is really cool. So I want to give you guys an overview of what this is and show you how to use it because I feel like it's really helpful to see what was going on because there's so much stuff happening in these battle royale games and there's only so much stuff that you could see. There's people landing all over the map, where the crates are happening, where people are going, the trajectory, where the circle is, all that stuff. So this game gives you an ability to check all of that out. So what we have here is a 2D rendering of the map. So this is what you would see if you hit back or menu on PC and just saw a portion of the map, right? You can't zoom in and see the actual buildings. You can just see where the building markers are and kind of the roadways and all the typical stuff that you would see when you hit back, right? So we can see the trajectory of where the plane went. And here, the first fascinating thing here that's helpful is you just see where a majority of people go. So if you haven't already figured it out by now, most people land by the major cities, right? You always see if the plane is going over the military base, people go there. So we have 1, 2, 3 teams there, right? And this random guy, DJ Paul, looks like he might be by himself. On the top right hand corner of the screen, by the way, you can see that we're in 1x speed, so that's just regular speed. There's 28 teams and there was 98 players, so 2 people have already died and now there's 96 players in the game. So like I said, it's fairly obvious that people land at the major cities. We have a bunch of people at Pochinki. We have a bunch of people at the greater area of Razhok, which I just consider one giant city area. That's like Razhok School and where we're located. It looks like you guys, or the person who's doing this, myself, is always red. This is our squad. It's Blitz 5, Cypher 5, Mr. Wiggles 89, and Fettuccine. So that's us. We landed at one of my favorite spots to land because it's not in the major city and it's kind of an outer grouping but close to the major city, so you can still kind of get in some action and get some good loot. Because a lot of times, if you land in the middle of nowhere, I prefer that. There's so many places people didn't go, right? If you went to Lipovka, you could just loot it there forever. But sometimes when you loot somewhere so far away, not only can it screw you up with the circle, it can also kind of, since you're not in any action, you don't see anybody. If you get to the final circle and you see somebody, you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen somebody all game. And then you get nervous and then you die because you're just not used to fighting. So sometimes I like getting into a gun battle early on into the game. And then continue on with this, you can see that people were, landed at Yasnaya and Cerverny. And I don't know why people do it, but some people wanted to land by the crates over there in George Pool. That's one of my least favorite places to land. So now that we're here, excuse me, I'm going to go up top here. The controls for this are a little wonky. You can hit spacebar to move up and control to move down and then WSAD to move around. But if you hit control and W, it closes out the tabs. You don't want to do that. So I'm going to move behind Stalber here, the mountain. You can kind of see what's going on here. And this is a great view of what's happening. So again, why I said this is it's really interesting to see the trajectory of where everybody went because this game revolves around skill, but also a lot of luck and RNG, and deciding to go to this town over this town or leave at this time versus this time can be your survival or death in this game, and I find that fascinating. So the fact that a website like this exists is really helpful. And like I said, it's only a 2D rendering. You can't see your players, but you can see your health and when you took contact. So if we just zoom in on this guy right here, you can see he's got the green bar on top. And like I said before, you can't see the buildings. You can see the markers, say there's like 4 buildings to the right there, but you can't see the actual building there loading in. So we're going to go back to the spot here. And we're going to move this to, let's see, we can go to all the way up to 40 times speed, I think. So we're going to go right now to, we'll do 10 times speed. So we'll see here that there's a bunch of people outside the circle to the north. So they're eventually going to have to move in from Cerverny. We already got this team that moved down the mountain into the river. We've headed across the street once and now twice. And what's interesting here, I'm going to slow it down, is that you see that this pink team for some reason headed into, let's see if they go to Razhok. They keep going, which is smart, right? I don't think you should go to Razhok there. Why would you want to go there at this point in the map? There's already going to be people there. It's already looted. So let's keep moving. We're at 20 speed. But you see this blue team heads into Razhok, and then the pink team is heading into Razhok, which to me is crazy because I just said it's already looted, and there's people going to land at the major towns. So this is either one, these people wanted to fight, they wanted more loot, or they didn't think that people went there. So if they didn't think that people went there, they're sadly mistaken, because I think people land there almost every single game. So not sure what their strategy was in there, but I can almost bet that those guys didn't make it to the end because there was so much fighting going on there, right? So then this, I'm going to slow it down here because this is a big part of the game here. So the circle has moved, it's getting a lot smaller, and this is where a majority of people are outside the circle still, it looks like. So for everybody outside the circle, and even for the people inside the circle, as the game continues on, this is where you have to make some of your biggest decisions. So right here, it's fascinating. We're moving right next to this team here, right? We could have ended up at the same spot of them, fought, and we could have lost the game right there. So picking where you're going to go is huge. Are you going to stay outside the circle? Are you going to play in the middle of the circle? You know, there's so many different strategies and different ways you can play, right? Are you going to go on the slow side of the circle over here to the left, like by Malta Power? Are you going to play the fast side by Razhawk? Are you going to go all the way to the right by, there's no really town over there, by the gas station and the bridge over there, by Ferry Pier? So we were thinking about going to farm, but everybody always goes there, right? It has a name. It's a popular spot. It's very iconic on the bottom portion of the map. So I'm like, you know, I lied. We basically don't go to farm anymore because we used to go there and you get a lot of contact. Then we thought about going to this little town over here by the water, but we've gone there so many times and everybody goes there. And we ended up getting so many gunfights that we ended up just dying or taking a lot of loss of health or ammo, and it's just not worth it. So we end up going here. So this is where I'm going to go backwards and kind of flip around here so we can see what's going on from the other angle, because now people are coming down, right? So let me control S myself back here. Like I said, the controls are a little wonky, unfortunately, but it's nice for what it is. I mean, I don't know how they created this website. Someone did a great job doing this. So you can see where the crates are. There was 2 crates, one at military base and one at the town all the way to the right there. So that's interesting. DJ Paul got that crate over there. I'm tracking this guy because DJ Paul is a rapper in 3-6 Mafia. I don't think that's him, but he stole that username. Excuse me. So, all right. So now the circle is pretty big. A lot of people still aren't in the circle. Well, I guess most people are in the circle. So now we can go to either military base or stay where we're at. So I'm going to speed this up to like 20 times speed so we can get a move on this. There's still 40 players left, which is a lot for how small the circle is getting. So now you can see we just got a huge amount of luck here. The fact that the circle went to where we were. I mean, obviously this game is a lot of RNG. I'm actually going to slow it down here because I want to point something out here. So right here you can see this guy, kill him, or whatever you want to say, Kill9, he came up to us, but then ran away. I'm going to actually go back because I think he ended up getting a little bit of contact here. He came up, you see the line? That means he received contact. So he was coming up to us. I'm going to go back forward now. Someone hit him, and he's like, screw this, I'm out of here. And he ended up actually going for the crate. So that's just an example of what it looks like when you take contact from somebody. So if you got shot from somewhere and you have no idea what happened, where this team was, you can go into pubg-replay and kind of figure that out. So let's zoom out here again. Let's see what's going on. We got a lot of guys in Malta right now. There's like 3 teams there. So again, like I said, because this game is a lot of RNG, because the circle didn't go to Malta and landed on us, a lot of these teams are going to have to fight through themselves or at each other just to get to us first. So we were in a great spot. And look at DJ Paul. He's managing to just get around everybody right now and make it to the woods over there. So good for him. He actually gets pretty far in the match, which I was surprised. He must be a pretty smart player, especially being by himself. So right here, this is when a lot of teams start moving in. Again, the circle has stayed in us. We're extremely lucky. We got Dodge City like in a jet ski or a boat just going AWOL over here to the side, which, you know, could be a good strategy. We'll see how long he lasts. And you can see a lot of teams from Malta. Looks like they're still fighting or may have died. And there's a lot of teams that are moving up. There's a little hill here where you see Edwin and all these people. There's a team to the north. These guys are contacting at each other. They're fighting. Excuse me again. We're starting to put contact on them. We saw all these guys the entire time. It was just there were so many of them, and they were fighting in the trees and the hill. We were running out of ammo. There was a lot of stuff going on here that we couldn't really control. And Mr. Wiggles had a better view on them because he was outside the hill. And then we got 2 guys that ran up on me here. Like I said, I was really low on ammo. Luckily, I had a shotgun that I kept, and I took one guy out the shotgun, and then Fettuccine started taking contact on them. Mr. Wiggles is defending the beat side, and then I'm going to go back to 2 times. Then I was able to reload and take out both those guys, and they dropped some serious gear. One of them had been at a crate, so I got a sniper rifle with like a level 3 military vest, which was huge, and also enabled us to win there too. Just defending our position was great. And again, look at the circle. We're not all in the circle, but we're very close. We're the closest team to being all in the circle. This is amazing. And then now we have Dodge City's actually up. He was the guy in the jet ski. He's part of 2 teams now. I'll put this to 1 speed that are up there. So now they're going to have to fight first to get to us. We know that we're in the circle, so we don't have to move as much. So we see, there's actually like 3 or 4 teams here, I think. Well, 3 teams with DJ Paul. We have the green team and the pink team. So they're all closing in on each other. The pink team has the best position because they're up first. And Dodge City and the Black God look like they're probably going to die due to the circle. Then we just have 2 teams, only 8 players left. DJ Paul actually gets in, but gets taken out by Joel. So then we're stuck with just one other team. Out of nowhere, it's just 7 players left. We're 4 of them, so there's only 3 players left. And this is where Mr. Wiggles is telling us that he sees people on the rocks, but I couldn't see them from my position. There was just trees in the way. So I found this fascinating because then I could actually see where they were at the time. Like, Cutter Joe was in a really bad spot. If I really had a better idea of where he was, we probably could have picked him off before he even got to the beach, and that would have really helped us out a lot. Same thing with Story 17, but nonetheless, we'll speed this up. They make it to the beach. We move forward to be a little bit more aggressive. I got shots, a contact on both Joel and Story with the sniper rifle, so I knew they were weak. But then I started taking contact from Cutter Joe on the right here, but luckily Mr. Wiggles takes him out. And then we decided, because we were 4 versus like 1.5, because I had knocked one of them, that we just rush them. They put on shots. I'm sticking here. They're all getting shots on, and then I think I get the final sniper rifle shot here in a second. And then I don't know what happens here at the end, why it's showing these extra lines and that there's 2 teams left and 6 players. We ended up winning. Fettuccini went down. I don't know if he completely died, but at the end of the game, we had at least 3 standing players. We were the winning team, and it was awesome because I got the winning kill. I had like 4, 5, 6 kills or something like that at the end of this match. But there is the pubg-replay. This was for my 11th game. My 11th last game played. I think you can go back and see like your last 20 or 30 games played. I looked through about a handful of games just quickly seeing, how this thing worked. You can see if you look back, you can see where all of the players died, just the markers and stuff like that. I find that pretty interesting. You can see where a lot of the battles where some people didn't even make it off the military base. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of dead people in the final circle and in the city. So anyways, I just thought this was really helpful because maybe it's less helpful because the circle kept going on top of us, but in situations where if the circle went to farm, we would have had to made our way to farm, and then the decision to play on what side of the circle, inside or outside, you have to keep making these decisions. So if you lose a game or you win a game where there was a lot of movement, it's definitely interesting to go back into here and analyze, where were the other teams going? Where do players move more often? If you watch like 10 replays, you'll start to see patterns in, people always go to Razhawk, and then those people from Razhawk usually head this way, right? Or they're going to take this road to that way. And it kind of helps you better predict where to go if you want to survive more, if you want to get into contact, and just make better overall decisions. Which when you're playing PUBG, it's a long game, and to just make a dumb decision and lose out of nowhere when you only have 1 life, it just waste, a half hour of your time. You can see this took 29 minutes of our time to get this win. So to me, it's a little bit nerdy, but if you want to play better and see what's going on, or just have some fun looking at like what's going on in the game and where people randomly died, then you can always do this. Or if you got sniped from a spot and you had no idea, this is definitely going to be the way for you to find it out. So anyways, this is pubg-replay.com. I'm in any way, shape, or form affiliated with this website. I just thought it was really cool, and I didn't know it existed, so I wanted to share it to my YouTube audience here. So as always, let me know if you guys found this helpful, if you're going to use this, or if you've used it in the past. And again, as always, thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out. Enjoy your day, guys.